This is John speaking. Welcome to this midweek update. And just looking at the major markets here. So, really, if you look at the focus for the week in the weekend report, we were looking for more bullishness in the US dollar. And we can see we're starting to get that here with dollar Swiss. We've got these kind of series of movements to the upside. So we'll be looking for further upside here in the US dollar, and we're already positioned for further upside, and we'll be looking to really trade this on the monthly chart here. You can see we've got this series of rejection bars. So we're looking for further upside in the US dollar Swiss franc. We're also running positions here on US dollar against the Japanese yen for some time. We kind of bottomed out here on the monthly chart. So high probability chance we could be seeing some higher levels. Okay. Of course, we've got non-farm payroll on Friday, something to consider, but still happy to look for long positions here. I know quite a few people on the floor are actually long on this one. Some of the other markets against the US dollar, Aussie just looking a little bit toppy where we are right now, just pushing sideways in this range here. So not massively on the radar. Could be seen a bounce. If this bounce fails here, could be seen some downside. Yet to come in the Aussie. Same thing with the Euro as well. Trying to bounce where we are. If you can see this support area here. So trying to bounce where we are here. So just looking for another push to the downside in the Euro. Looking at pound against the US dollar, approaching some significant support areas. But you have to say on this intraday chart, if you look at the 4 hour, we've got some nice lower lows and lower highs. So certainly looking for further downside here in the sterling market. New Zealand dollar looking fairly weak where we are. So again, if we look at the higher time frames here, it looks like there is a potential for some downside on the monthly chart. A little bit more movement to the downside. So we'll be looking to get to the short side. A couple of squeeze setups setting up here on the 4 hour chart. We'll be looking to get into and run over the Asia session. And looking at the commodity market, I mean, crude oil seasoning, we're in this bearish time for crude oil, but just look at the weekly chart. We're kind of in between these major levels here that we're just selling off of. All right, so bound to find some sellers at this area, looking for some further downside. However, downside could be quite limited, as there is a potential for buyers to creep in as they have done at this support area. So right now we're just kind of ranging in between those points. We'll see how that develops, but not really on the radar to do anything with crude. Indices looking a little bit better, so just running the positions here on the Nikkei, really gunning for that all-time high there, which hasn't yet been tested, a 21,000 area. So looking for further upside on the Nikkei. And looking at the FTSE 100, just finding a bit of resistance here. Again, on the weekend report, we were looking at a couple of stocks. If you recall, we were looking at Sage Group and Just Eat. Seem to be doing very well right now. A couple of US stocks as well doing pretty well. And we're just looking to run those. I mean, UK 100 still needs to break out of this resistance area before we can fully load up into positions to the long side. Still happy to look for long opportunities, and same thing with US markets as well. I mean, clear uptrends, some decent stock plays that we've been focusing on in the Golden Playbook membership for further upside potential. So trades seem to be working out. Of course, watch out for non-farm payroll with the US dollar indices. We're looking for long positions on the indices. Some decent stock plays there to be had, which are the Golden Playbook members. You should have received those emails throughout the week on a couple of those positions. Some of the trades have already banked profits, and just happy to stick with and go for the higher reward on the trades that we've got currently running. So opportunities across foreign exchange, commodities, and stocks. In that volatile period now, traders are back from the summer periods where we're looking to put those positions on. So that sums up this midweek report. I'll see you on the weekend. For now, all the best with your trading.